Am I the a-hole for kicking out my boyfriend's 19-year-old daughter? My boyfriend of 3 years moved into my home 3 weeks ago after his lease went up, and he was unable to renew the price hike they expected. His rent was $1,600 for a 2-bedroom, and upon signing a new lease, they said it was now $2,400. I have a 3-bedroom home and one son, 11. Both his room and my room have an attached bathroom. The guest room does not. We have lived here for 5 years, and I bought it last year. My boyfriend has a 19-year-old daughter named Jess who visits him on the weekends and lives at home with her mother. Literally never had any issues with her, up until my boyfriend moved in. When he moved in, Jess started becoming this witchy snob, who had demand after demand that she fully expected me to meet. Like, she wanted me to kick my son out of his room so she could have the room with an attached bathroom, stating that a boy didn't need a bathroom as much as a girl did. When I said, absolutely not, she got extremely rude and condescending whenever she was in my home. She also tried parenting my son on more than one occasion, telling him what he can and cannot watch on the TV, what he can and cannot snack on, etc. There have been times when he has tried talking to us, and Jess will butt in and say something about how kids are so freaking annoying. If I speak up to her, she says, "I don't believe I was talking to you," or roll her eyes at me. Bold for someone who does not pay any rent or food costs to be staying in my home. I told her father last week that either he gets a handle on his adult kid or she was getting booted to the curb. He immediately starts telling me I need to give her time because this is an adjustment for her, and that apparently she is having a hard time at her mom's house due to them arguing all the time. I told him that wasn't my problem, and that in my house, me and my son were not going to be treated like crap because she can't control her emotions and wants to take her resentment out on us. He said he would talk with her. His talk did nothing at all. In fact, she confronted me about it and said, "I don't know what game you're playing here, but respect is earned, not given, and I will not be granting you respect until you prove to me you deserve it." She then walks to the living room where my son was watching TV and takes the remote from him and tells him to move. At this point, I go in and immediately tell her to get out of my house. She tells me she isn't going anywhere because her dad lives here. So I end up calling her uncle, who is a police officer, and have her escorted from my house after she collected all her belongings. My boyfriend says I crossed a line, so I told him he can leave too. He currently isn't speaking to me, locked away in my bedroom. Am I the a-hole? Now for the top comments. My boyfriend says I crossed a line, so I told him he can leave too. He currently isn't speaking to me, locked away in my bedroom. Well, I guess you see who Jess inherited her odious attitude from. Not stay home, hold firm. Edited to add, boyfriend has lived there 3 weeks. Check local laws to make sure he hasn't achieved tenant status, just in case you have to put a boot up his butt to put him out a door. It's in his best interest for him to leave upon being asked, because if he hangs around to be evicted, things will get even worse. He will not be able to get his own place with an eviction on his record. It's time to call Uncle Cop again. Not the a-hole. The daughter needs help regulating, and who knows what else. Not even getting along with her mother. The boyfriend needs to wake up about his role as a dad and boyfriend. You need to get them both out and evaluate if there's a relationship to salvage with a boyfriend. Not the a-hole. I don't know what game you're playing here, but respect is earned, not given. And I will not be granting you respect until you prove to me you deserve it. That goes both ways, little girl. Lol. I know that 19 is technically an adult, but she's acting like a spoiled little child. Opie, I think you handled this just fine. You took it up with a boyfriend first and asked him to fix it. Obviously, he didn't. So you followed through with the consequences you said there would be. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not paying for my brother's gender reveal party? Back in March, I had my gender reveal party at a hall. My husband and I paid for catering, decorations, desserts, centerpieces, and candy for candy buffet. The only thing we didn't do was the signs, which one of my brothers took care of as he is good with woodworking. My eldest brother has 2 children, 12 and 13, from his previous relationship, then got married and now has 2 more little ones, under 10. I have never met his new wife. They just got eloped in March and none of my family has met her. They are now 18 weeks pregnant and will find out about the baby's gender in a few weeks. I was talking to my dear husband and we decided to give them $800. My elder brother asked if we could throw him and his wife a gender reveal party instead at the same hall we did ours at. I said it was a little more than $800, considering the hall rental deposit, desserts, candy buffet, catering, baby shower favors, centerpiece flowers. I do have most of the stuff saved, centerpiece jars, tablecloths, candy buffet jars, and some games from the party. But he even wants a backdrop which my friend did for me for free. She would charge him $150 for this since he has family. He said he really wants this, and if everyone paid for it, we can make it happen. I suggested a smaller venue or even a luxury picnic. I have the decorations for that, and would be more than happy to set aside a portion of what we were going to give him from the $800 for the catering. He was taken aback, as he thought we were going to give him the $800 on top of the party. He said, "Stop being cheap. You guys have the money, and you have never done anything nice for me and my kids." This is true. I was going to university when he had his children, so I was always broke. But I'm not working at the moment. I'm on maternity leave, so checks are small, and the money is coming from my husband, who is not really close to my eldest brother. He called me a cheap a-hole and said I have money saved up, so stop holding back. Now, I don't want to give him anything, and my other brothers don't want to give him anything either. Am I the a-hole if I don't give him anything at all now for his crummy attitude? Edit added. I forgot to mention this is both a gender reveal / baby shower. Not the a-hole, and he can take his entitled, ungrateful butt out of here. I wouldn't give him anything. Thank you. I couldn't agree more. I know he is in a tight spot in regards to funds, which is why we were going to give him $800 for whatever he needed for his baby. I really don't mind doing a small luxury picnic for him, but didn't expect such a terrible attitude towards everything. My mom even suggested having a potluck so that we didn't have to spend any money on food, and he said that would look tacky. He wanted something really nice for him and his wife. I do have the funds, but I'm being careful as I'm on maternity leave and don't want to spend a lot at the moment. Get him condoms. He needs to stop having that many children and baby mamas if he's in such a bad spot. Regain his financial stability before having more kids. Lol, one of my brothers made that comment. A basket full of rubbers instead of baby clothes and diapers. What? Not a-hole. You don't owe your brother an expensive gender reveal party. If my brother pulled any of that, I'd say, oh, actually, my financial planner says it's best to set up a 529 for a kid. We'll do that once the baby's here, and make sure none of the money is accessible to someone with such terrible priorities in life. This is a beautiful idea, to open up a savings account. I'm assuming that's what a 529 is. Although then, knowing my brother will want an account for his other children, including the 2 that no one has even met yet. I just can't win. Next story is titled, Am I the a-hole for taking a joke too far and making my mom faint? I, 18 female, hate practical jokes because my parents love them. It was my 18th birthday last week, and it was the first time in 3 years that I was able to have friends and family over for my birthday party. My parents love practical jokes. You name it, they have done it to me or my older sisters. At each of my sister's 18th birthday parties, they pushed the birthday girl's head into the cake. I think this is stupid and a waste of cake. So, I talked to my friend Kyra, who is into cosplay and makeup. She is amazing, but she said not to post her Insta, and we came up with a plan. When my family was planning my party, I asked for them to please not push my face into the cake, and my parents agreed. So on the day of my party, I was ready. When my parents inevitably pushed my face into the cake, I stood up and screamed bloody murder and squeezed the fake blood pack in my hand that I was holding up to my eye with a candle stub between my fingers. It was awesome. Until my mom fainted and hit the ground hard. Everyone was looking at me and no one caught her. She is bruised up and her and my dad are angry with me. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. Your parents reaped what they sowed. You asked them to refrain, and they agreed not to do it, all of you knowing full well they'd do it anyway. You responded with a practical joke of your own. In fairness, it was a considerable escalation from getting cake on your face though. But ultimately, their terror and ensuing injuries could have been completely avoided had they merely kept their word. I'd argue that while it was a considerable escalation, it still wasn't uncalled for. It's a genuine concern, and better the parents learn not to do it from a practical joke than frantically driving a kid to the hospital. They were also asked not to do it, so yeah, that too. Yes, it may have been a practical joke, but it was also an unforgettable object lesson. Parents ought to be grateful, but that would mean admitting they're the a-holes. Or at the very bare minimum, if you're going to do a jerk thing like this, at least make sure it's safe. Why would you push someone's face who is not prepared into something with solid objects that are pointy? Why? Because idiots are idiots. I recently saw a video of someone trying to shove a guy's face into his birthday cake before he even blew out the candles. There were at least 8 dozen candles on a cake, probably more like 20. Dude tried to shove his face into a plate of fire. Fortunately, birthday boy resisted the push by locking his arms, and the entire glass table shattered instead. Next story. Am I the a-hole for going to my stepdaughter's birthday party instead of my son's graduation party? I, 46 male, have 2 sons, 20 Andy and 18 Sam, from my previous marriage. I got divorced from their mother about 7 years ago and have been in my stepdaughter, now 11, Emma's life for 6 years. I love her to death, and I see her as my own kid. Sam graduated back in June and was having a graduation party about a month later. But his party happened to be the same day as Emma's birthday party. She was really excited about her birthday and told me she wanted me to stay for her party. I said I'd try and call my son about it. The day before their parties, I told Sam I would try and stop by, but he kept insisting I come for the full thing. I told him I'd try, but Emma's birthday party is on the same day, and my wife and I have been planning it for over a month now. He just said okay and hung up the phone. Fast forward to the day of both parties. My wife said I should go to Sam's party. I was planning on doing so, but Emma told me she really wanted me to stay. I didn't want her to be sad at our party, so I agreed and told them I would just leave later. Emma's party was from 4 to 6 and Sam's from 4:30 to 7:30, so I was thinking I had plenty of time. I live over an hour away from my son, so I was planning to leave early. Anyway, I was helping my wife with a lot of stuff, taking care of the kids and other things. By then, it's already 6 p.m. and I feel bad. I have so many things to help my wife with for cleaning up, and since I live over an hour away, I know I can't make it. I did go to his graduation, so I assumed just going the day after to see him would be fine. Boy, was I wrong. I call him after that, and he practically goes insane, telling me he's extremely angry, saying I love Emma more than my biological kid and that I always forget about him. He then tells me he doesn't want me to come the next day and doesn't want me to talk to him. I haven't missed a lot of his events, so I feel like he's overreacting. I didn't go to his 18th birthday party because of a big meeting I had, and I get why he was mad about that. But this seems like an overreaction. I apologized to him, but he didn't accept it. My ex-wife and wife said I should have gone and that I was being an idiot. My oldest son says I always choose Emma over him, which is not true, and that I was being a horrible father. I do feel bad, but I lost track of time. He won't talk to me, and neither will my oldest son. Am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole. My oldest son says I always choose Emma over him, which is not true. I don't know, my guy. In this case, you absolutely did choose Emma over him. It doesn't help that you say at least twice that he's overreacting, trying to negate his feelings on the issue. Also, why couldn't they push his stepdaughter's party forwards? She's 11. It's perfectly reasonable to do a 9 to 1 p.m. party or a 12 to 3. He's an hour from his son, so he could leave at 3 and get there by 4. There are 100 things he could have done, but he chose to screw his son over. Why couldn't they push stepdaughter's party forwards? This is what I don't get too. Like, Opie even says how he and his wife have been planning this party, so there's no reason they couldn't adjust the time frame to make it work for both kids. Opie, you're the a-hole. Not only that, but he knew about the double booking well in advance. Told Emma he'd talked to his son about it and then didn't until the night before both parties. I literally snorted at the flash forward after that. He made it into his 40s, with 2 adult children and on his second wife, while still thinking 12 hours is an appropriate amount of time to juggle this sort of scheduling? You're the a-hole, Opie, and your weaponized incompetence is juvenile. Last story. Am I the a-hole for refusing to be a bridesmaid in my sister's wedding? I, 28 female, come from a big extended family. Including me and my sister, 23 female, there are 24 female cousins and 17 male cousins. Half of the cousins are already married. When the first one ever asked me to be a bridesmaid, I declined. When I attend a wedding, I want to have fun, eat food and dance. In exchange, I will get you a gift. I do not want to spend my energy, time and money on your big day. And when I get married, I will not have a bridal party, nor will I expect a bachelorette party. Well, all of the cousins understood. There were no hard feelings. And to be honest, with that many cousins, it wasn't even an issue. Now, my younger sister is getting married. She asked me to be a bridesmaid and I declined. And I did it very gently. I told her sorry, but with working full-time, being in the final stages of preparing my thesis and teaching some summer classes, that I would not make a good bridesmaid. Also, my sister is a total bridezilla. The dresses she's looking at for her party are $450. She expects a weekend bachelorette in Vegas with all the bells and whistles, and wants everyone to attend dance classes to learn this elaborate dance to surprise her with. I do not have the energy for all that nonsense. Now, she said I am not invited to her wedding. If I am not willing to put forth the effort to make her day perfect, then I do not deserve to be there. Honestly, I don't care. But my mom and some aunts are calling me an a-hole. So, am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. If I'm not willing to put forth the effort to make her day perfect, then I do not deserve to be there. You don't deserve to be there? Jesus, how full of herself can she be? After a comment like that, I wouldn't go to that wedding if she paid me. As if her wedding is the event of the year. As if Opie has probably already been to 20 weddings, where she can actually enjoy herself thanks to her cousins. But yeah, her sister's wedding is somehow going to be way better than those. Can you imagine how many actual weddings there are a year in that family? Not stay home. Just seeing how she reacted to your refusal, you know you made a right choice. Save yourself from all the rest of her BS. It might be a very small party if she keeps behaving like this. I think the mom and the aunts may have spoiled this younger sister. Now they can be her bridesmaids and take her to Vegas. Not stay home. Wedding parties have gotten ridiculous these days. We've gone from a bridal shower to a shower and a bachelorette party to a bachelorette weekend at an expensive destination. Not to mention the wedding day with a dress, shoes, hair, and makeup. If you know that it's more effort than you're willing to put forth, then you'd be an a-hole if you agreed to be in the wedding party.